Alright, welcome back to the second YouTube video of my aerospace class, Intro to Aerospace. This one's on Walter H. Beech. Alright, let's get it started. Walter Beech. Alright, so Walter Herschel Beech, he was born January 30th, 1891. He was born in Pulaski, Tennessee, which is an hour and a half from MTSU. So he's real close to us, close to my heart. Close to MTSU. At the age of 14, he built his first glider out of stuff he found around the house. It wasn't a successful glider, but it shows he was passionate about aviation from a young age. He married Olive Ann Beech in 1930. That's him down there in the bottom right. Good-looking fellow. All right, early days in aviation, July 11th, 1914. My birthday, he made his first solo flight in a Curtiss biplane. All right, so he served 3 years in the Army Air Corps as a pilot, fighter, flight instructor, and an engineer, right? And he toured the U.S. as a barnstormer, and that allowed him to learn more about aircraft design and how aircraft are produced and made. All right, so the E.M. Laird Airplane Company, in 1920, Matty Laird hired Lloyd Stearman as a mechanic. He's going to come into play later. And in 1921, Jake Mullendick hired Walter to test airplanes. So the E.M. Laird Company is famous for the Laird Swallow biplane. And in 1923, Mullendick and Laird broke up and appointed Beech and Stearman as the principal officers. So down there in the bottom, that's the Laird Swallow. It's supposed to look like the swallow bird. I don't see the similarities, but oh well. I mean, all right. So Travel Air Company, Beech, Stearman, Clyde Cessna, and Walter Innes founded it in 1925 in Wichita, Kansas. And by 1929, they were the world's largest producer of commercial aircraft. This quote from an article by July 1929, the company had sold 307 aircraft worth $2 million. That's a substantial number in 1929. The very first plane was the Travel Air 2000 biplane. It was nicknamed the Elephant Ears because of how far the ailerons were extended. It was also nicknamed the Wichita Fokker because of how similar it was to the World War I German fighter plane. All right, so sadly in October 1929, stock market crashed, and that really negatively impacted the Travel Air Company. Forced them to merge with the Curtiss Wright Airplane Company. So it was kind of cool that Walter soloed in a Curtiss plane, and now he's working right alongside them. That's coming full circle. That's really cool. And so after a while, there was a falling out between the founders. And in 1932, Walter, along with his wife, who was a secretary at Travel Air Company, founded the Beech Aircraft Company, April 1932, in Wichita, Kansas. So they didn't even move. They formed it right in the middle of the Great Depression. So a lot of odds were against them. They had money because they sold out high in the Travel Air Company, and now they're buying in at a low time. But it's so hard to start a business. It just really wasn't advantageous, but they persevered and fought through, and it paid off. Their first plane was the Staggerwing 17R, which had a speed of 200 miles an hour and a range of 1,000 miles, which is incredibly impressive. Actually saw 5 people. That's a beautiful red plane right down there in the bottom. It's a biplane, but it's a very pretty plane. All right. November 29th, 1950, Walter Beech sadly passed away of a heart attack. He's still an icon in Wichita today. His legacy carries on in his Beechcraft, which is a company I'm sure you all know for their incredibly popular commercial airplanes. They're most known for their King Airs and the Bonanzas. The Bonanzas are more flown by private pilots, and the commercial pilots fly King Airs. Those are those two at the bottom. All right. They're most known for they revolutionized the V-tail design created by a Polish engineer, Jersey Red Lakey in 1930. It's become one of the most recognizable features of the Bonanzas, and actually where the Rudder Vaders. Shout out to my boy Miles. He knows what I'm talking about. Rudder Vaders. Yeah, that was a unique part of them. They had the rudders and the elevators were combined on those V-tail wings because they didn't have separate vertical and horizontal stabilizers. So they had, hence the name rudder vaders. You have rudder up here, elevators down here. Combine them, comes rudder vaders. All right, and these are my sources. My book was The Barnstormer and the Lady, Aviation Legends, Walter and Olive Beech. I got an article from Wichita State University. All right, and then I found a journal called The Boys from Travel Air, 3 Partners, 3 Philosophies, and that was by Airport Journals.